So those of us who may have operator error, she makes it really easy, no fuss. As you can see, that was a beautiful hairstyle, not too hard to put together.
This is all going to be stuff very, very simple and that you can do at home with little direction, so it's easy to remember. And then we'll also chat today with a health professional about the winter blues, because some of y'all may have that. The days are shorter, grayer. We definitely want to. That's right. We want to beat those, so we'll have tips coming up on that as well.
All right, we'll have all that in just a moment, but first let's head over to Brandon Lockett, who's standing by the Weather Center. Hi, Brandon.
Hello out there. It looks like the cold weather certainly came around this morning. We've been seeing very cold temperatures for the past several days, and believe it or not, we're actually warming up just a little bit. We'll take you to First Alert Live Doppler radar, and I'm sure we'll all want to know about the snowfall that we saw this morning, that light dusting that many of us saw in South Central Kentucky. Overall, for the time being, that's really died down to just a flurry, but we did manage to catch some areas actually managed to get a whole inch of snowfall in our viewing area. Here in Warren County, for the most part, just saw right around half an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch in some areas. But again, that snowfall is really going to take a break until, say, later this afternoon, more towards, say, the early evening hours of this afternoon and early evening. I look for the snowfall to possibly start back up then. And again, not looking for a huge accumulation with that. Current temperatures in Bowling Green warming up now to 29 degrees. Louisville is at 28 degrees. Lots of cloud cover. And with this cloud cover, it'll help keep the temperatures down for the most part today. Next, as we look at the past 24 hours, the change from this time yesterday, actually 10 degrees warmer than we were this time yesterday. So believe it or not, though we are still well below freezing, actually a good bit warmer than we were this time yesterday. Current temperatures for the eastern half of the United States, very cold all across the board. Des Moines, Iowa's at 8 degrees. Chicago still at 20 degrees. And as we head south and eastward, Atlanta's at 36, Charleston 43. And the cold air mass that's centered right over Des Moines will definitely be pushing its way south and eastward. So expect to see readings similar to what they're seeing in Des Moines right now as we head into, say, this weekend and early next week. Next 24 hours, though, for us, look for those snow flurries that we saw this morning to begin really kind of die off. And then by late afternoon, maybe picking up again. Daytime high today, only 34 degrees, so barely climbing above freezing today. But it doesn't look like we'll see any precipitation falling during that period where we'll actually be above freezing. Looks like we'll see mostly today all precipitation of the frozen variety. Tonight, snow showers return, 26 degrees, the overnight low. And then Friday morning, snow showers once again, most of them tapering off by 1 in the afternoon. Daytime high on Friday of about 34 degrees. So lots of snow in the forecast. We'll be talking more about it coming up here in just a bit. Lauren?
All right, thanks, Brandon. The road crews are ready for the winter weather change, but are you? WBKO Sarah Goebel has more on how you can prepare for the falling temperatures.
It's cold.
And it's getting colder, but city carrier for the U.S. Postal Service, Doug McKinney, delivers the mail no matter what.
If you're standing still, it's even colder than whether if you're moving around and you got a walking route. So
sometimes Doug has to work a walking mail route, but says if you dress in layers, it's not that bad.
I try to take advantage of my break so I can warm up a little bit.
If you don't have to be outside in the cold weather, there are still some things you need to do to prepare. The below freezing temperatures can cause your water pipes to freeze and bust.
If you have a sink on an outside wall of your house, to keep your pipes from freezing, open your cabinet doors to allow heat to get to your water pipes and keep a constant flow of water coming out of your faucet.
Internal lines are typically not going to freeze because they're getting heat from both sides of the room.
If your pipes do bust, the damage could be severe.
Damage that they can cause would be extensive water damage underneath the home to any insulation, or if it should rupture in a wall, talking about the insulation inside the wall would be moist and damaged. Drywall would have to be replaced and repaired, and possibly warping of floors.
It doesn't matter if you're going to be inside or outside during the cold winter weather. Everyone needs to be prepared.
It's just something you have to adapt to and get used to. I've been doing it for a little over 20 years.
In Bowling Green, Sarah Goebel, WBKO.
This is what we do.
For more information about road conditions or cold weather tips, log on to WBKO.com. The number of students out sick throughout South Central Kentucky have prompted many schools to close. Todd County School Superintendent Bruce Gray says the outbreak of sick students began last Thursday. He says over the past week, stomach viruses and flu-like symptoms have caused school numbers to go from the average of 95% to around 88%. During the break, Gray plans to have the schools disinfected for the students' return.
We've had some schools to already start spraying down desks and having some, obviously, preventive type things. And our attendance still, was steadily declining.
Classes in Todd County will resume on Monday. Other school systems are closing due to illness. Edmondson, Metcalfe, Butler, Todd, Allen, Barron, Taylor, and Russell counties, Caverna Independent, Campbellsville Independent, Glasgow City, Russellville Independent, and Breckenridge Grayson Head Start are all closed today due to illness. On Friday, Barron, Edmondson, Taylor, and Metcalfe counties and Glasgow City, Campbellsville Independent, Caverna Independent, and Russellville Independent will also be closed due to illness. You can get connected to our Polar Report on our website or watch the bottom of your screen for further information. A Beaver Dam couple was arrested on theft by deception charges after collecting money for their sick child who may not have been sick after all. The Kentucky State Police report since September of 2005, 29-year-old Sharon and 33-year-old Milton Sheets IV led people to believe their 10-year-old son had cancer and other illnesses. The police report states the couple collected money from churches and citizens in Ohio County. Police say it's believed the Sheets received more than $12,000. People in the community reported to police that some days the child appeared to be sick and on others he looked healthy. The report states it's believed the Sheets may have been over-medicating their son in order to make him appear sick. The Sheets were charged with criminal abuse and theft by deception over $300. The couple is currently lodged in the Ohio County Detention Center. The third day of the Russell Sublett trial revealed video from a robot sent inside the Warren County home where he barricaded himself. The video shows Sublett actually getting shot in the shoulder, and later he shows the camera the 9mm slug lodged in his left hand. This occurred during a hail of bullets shot into the home from law enforcement weapons. When the bullets stopped, Sublett tells a crisis negotiator he didn't want a lawyer and he didn't want a pine box. He wanted to be cremated. Sublett is charged with trying to kill 10 law enforcement officers and carjacking during a high-speed chase through Barron and Warren counties on September 29th of 2004. Sublett's attorney says his client never tried to kill anyone. He was trying to provoke police into killing him. If convicted, Sublett could get life in prison. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers will release detailed maps to show the public showing the potential flooding if the Wolf Creek Dam fails. The Wolf Creek Dam in Russell County is undergoing a rehab because of serious erosion problems. A worst-case scenario would flood the Cumberland River and reach Nashville. The maps will be available next week. The CSX train derailment in Bullitt County 2 weeks ago could be costly. A CSX spokesman says the company could face damages of $10 million. The derailed train ignited chemical fires and forced residents from their homes. The spokesman says the money would go toward the damaged railroad, the environmental price tag, and personal claims from residents. If Senator Joe Biden wanted to get attention on the very first day of his campaign, he got it, but not the kind of attention he wanted. Instead of talking about his positions on the issues, Biden found himself explaining a remark he made about fellow candidate Senator Barack Obama. Jake Tapper has more.
Instead of attention for his strengths as a candidate, Joe Biden was forced to answer questions about comments he made to a newspaper reporter about Senator Barack Obama, a rival for the nomination.
I mean, you got the first sort of mainstream African American who was articulate and bright and clean and a nice looking guy. I mean, that's a storybook, man.
Yeah. Biden later expressed regret for anyone offended and explained on The Daily Show that he misspoke.
What I was attempting to be, was not very artfully, is complimentary. This is an incredible guy. This is a phenomenon. This guy is, and look, the other part of this thing is, the word that got me in trouble is using the word clean. I should have said fresh. What I meant is he's got new ideas. He's a new guy in the block.
Observers from both parties had questioned what Biden meant, especially by the word clean.
They are loaded words, and that's why he should interpret what he meant by those loaded words.
At first, Obama did not seem offended.
I mean, it was, he just did it. He didn't mean it.
But later in the day, Obama issued a statement calling Biden's comments historically inaccurate. African-American presidential candidates like Jesse Jackson, Shirley Chisholm, Carol Mosley Braun and Al Sharpton gave a voice to many important issues through their campaigns, and no one would call them inarticulate. Biden is a cautionary tale in a year with a prominent female, black, Mormon, and Hispanic candidates.
I think in a year where we have so many firsts, I think it's important that candidates understand how to talk about these firsts and also understand the new dynamics in American politics.
On Capitol Hill, Senator Biden is known for two qualities: foreign policy expertise and for talking too much. He's hoping that first quality will get him to the White House, but it's the second one that got him in trouble. Jake Tapper, ABC News, Washington.
Today on WBKO.com, we're asking, do you think Senator Joe Biden's remarks about fellow Democratic presidential candidate Barack Obama were racially insensitive? Log on to our website with your opinion, then watch tonight at 10 for those results. Well, they were trying to get attention, but not this kind. Two men who put up electric signs promoting a cartoon show now face criminal charges in Boston. Much of Beantown came to a halt yesterday as police put a security alert into effect where the devices were noticed. ABC's Ram Simulcare has more.
Boston's big bomb scare turned out to be nothing more than a marketing stunt gone wrong, but authorities are finding no humor in the misunderstanding.
We're not playing around. It's about keeping the city on edge. It's about public safety.
Electronic light displays that were placed under bridges, on storefronts, and in other locations were meant to promote Aqua Teen Hunger Force, a program on the Cartoon Network.
Oh man, he's backing up!
Two employees of the marketing firm responsible for the campaign were arraigned this morning for placing over 40 signs around the city. They could face prison time for crimes against property and disorderly conduct.
It is unconscionable that in this environment, post 9/11, that a corporation like Turner would do something like this in an urban city.
Boston authorities say they will also go after Turner Broadcasting, the parent company of the Cartoon Network. They want Turner to make restitution for the estimated $1 million spent on dealing with the scare-turned-hoax. Turner Broadcasting has apologized for the misunderstanding. It is interesting to note that these devices were placed in as many as 9 other American cities without incident. Rob Simulcare, ABC News, New York.
Miss USA Tara Conner tells People magazine in an upcoming issue that she used cocaine. Russell Springs native Tara Conner nearly lost her crown for partying in New York nightclubs. Conner says she didn't think she had a problem, but now realizes she suffers from addiction. She logged in 31 days at the Cairn Foundation Rehab Center in Pennsylvania. The owner of the Miss USA pageant, Donald Trump, said in December Conner could hold on to her crown if she changed her ways. She then entered rehab. In business news, Americans are making more and spending it. For that and to look at other headlines, here's Bloomberg's Nicole Petalides at the New York Stock Exchange.
The government says incomes in December increased by the most in 3 months, and reports out today also show personal spending rose by the most in 5 months. Speaking of spending, if you had your share of maple macchiatos over the holidays, then you helped Starbucks meet analysts' earnings forecast, the coffee chain posting an 18% rise in quarterly profit. And a downturn for the world's biggest oil company, ExxonMobil, reporting its first quarterly profit drop in almost 3 years as prices for gasoline and natural gas drop. But ExxonMobil still reporting its largest annual profit in U.S. history. Meantime, we have a dishwasher recall to tell you about. Whirlpool's Maytag unit recalling as many as 2.5 million dishwashers following reports of more than 130 fires. And beginning the day after Valentine's Day, Marriott International hotels in the U.S. and Canada will no longer use oil with trans fats to cook the more than 6 million pounds of French fries it serves a year. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Nicole Petalides with the Bloomberg Market Update.
A few flurries dusted our area this morning, and it looks like it's not over. Brandon Watkins is next with a look at your forecast. We'll be right back.
The Kentucky Lottery, nearly $4.5 billion in prizes given away so far. So watch for your lucky numbers each day here on WBKO.
Well, Medicare did it again. Raised its deductibles and co-payments, the part you may be required to pay. And this is just the beginning of the out-of-pocket expenses you could face. That's why if you're on Medicare or soon will be, You owe it to yourself to find out about the Total Senior Care Medicare Supplement Insurance Policy from Physicians Life Insurance Company. Just write down this number and then call it to get free information with all the details. But first, let me tell you about some of the important benefits this insurance policy provides. It pays your entire Part A hospital deductible. It pays your Medicare-approved hospital and skilled nursing home copayments. And it pays your Part B medical deductible in full. And here's an important difference. Some insurance policies pay only up to Medicare-approved amounts for Medicare Part B expenses. This amount is often less than what you're actually charged, leaving you to pay the difference. But the Total Senior Care Medicare Supplement Insurance Policy pays the actual eligible Medicare Part B expenses that you owe. Plus, you get important features like freedom of choice. You can go to any doctor you choose. That's right. You're free to go to the doctors you're most comfortable with. And there are no claim forms to fill out. All the paperwork is handled for you. The Total Senior Care Medicare Supplement Insurance Policy gives you all this and more. And it's backed by Physicians Life Insurance Company, a strong and secure company that you can count on. So call this number to get all the details. There's no cost or obligation of any kind. You're just calling for information, that's all. The call is free. The information is free, and you'll be one step closer to enjoying the protection and security you deserve. Call right now.
We're here when you need us, Physicians Mutual.
Well, another cold morning in South Central Kentucky. The only difference with this morning was that it brought with it a few snow flurries. We'll take you now to First Alert Live Doppler radar. Not picking up really much activity out there currently, but we did manage to see a light dusting across most of South Central Kentucky. We saw some roads this morning, actually many roads out there with a light coating of some dry powdered snow out there. So make sure to travel with caution as you're going about the day today. But again, overall, the main thoroughfares pretty good as far as quality is concerned. But as always, use caution when driving over snow-covered roads. Right now in Bowling Green, not seeing the snowfall, 30 degrees for the temperature currently, and basically sitting under lots of cloudy skies. Looks like we'll hold on to the cloud cover for the better part of the day today. Winds right now pretty calm, and humidity, however, is beginning to rise. We saw the humidity increase yesterday with the moisture pushing in from the south, and now we're seeing that cold air again begin to push in from the north. And so we're kind of just right on that line where we have warm air from the south that has a lot of moisture with it and some colder, drier air from the north. And right now, it looks like the drier air is really beginning to win. We don't have a lot of moisture to work with right now, but that'll be changing as we move toward later this afternoon and early this evening. Past 24 hours yesterday, we saw a daytime high of 30 degrees with a low of about 10 degrees. You can compare that to the averages for this time if you're way off the mark. Trace amount of rainfall has been recorded this morning at the airport, but overall, again, we did manage to catch right around half an inch in Bowling Green, possibly areas north and west of Bowling Green. Could have seen a little bit more than that. But again, just enough to cover some roadways, so traveling with caution would be key throughout the day today. Right now, this is the past 12 hours on the satellite and radar, and this looks, at present, much more impressive than it really is. A lot of this not really very heavy, not very thick amounts of snowfall, but we did manage to see some light snow as it fell across the Commonwealth. And again, this morning, we saw another little surge push through, say, right around 9 this morning. Saw a little light flurry activity in South Central Kentucky, but the bulk of the precipitation is really falling off to the south, and that's really just the bigger story with the overall system. And for us, it's pretty quiet for the time being. As all of this moisture really begins to push out of here, we clear out a little bit as far as snowfall is concerned. But then we have another wave just kind of off to the south and west, and that wave will push through and bring with it a few more chances of seeing those flurries and possibly a light snow shower or two. Future forecast, this is that low pressure bringing the moisture from the south and then the cold from the north. And where those two collided is where we saw that snowfall over South Central Kentucky today. That's pushed out. We'll see another clipper system swing through on Friday. That'll be that other disturbance that could bring with it a few snow showers. Really not expecting a big accumulation again with this whole system. Not looking for anything over 2 inches after all is said and done. So we could expect maybe somewhere around 1 more inch of potential snowfall to make its way to the ground in South Central Kentucky. By Saturday, things looking a little quieter for us and calming down a bit until Sunday night, where we do have another chance of seeing a few snowflakes making their way to South Central Kentucky. For today, though, occasional flurries mostly happening towards afternoon now. The morning showers really done with the snow showers this morning, and we'll look more toward the evening hours to see another round of snowfall coming to us. 34 degrees, the daytime high today, barely climbing above freezing as we go through the day. But the good news is, looks like precipitation will stop for the warmest part of the day. So when we're above freezing, doesn't look like we'll see that mix to any rainfall going through the day today. Tonight, 26 degrees, the overnight low. That snow is likely. Accumulations, again, right around 1 inch. Not expecting much more than that. And then as we go into the 7-day forecast, cold temperatures all across the board. Friday is Groundhog Day, and it looks like as he pops his head up, we'll see cold temperatures. Looks like winter might be sticking around for several more days. Also want to mention on Saturday, we'll be at the Greensburg IGA Market programming weather radios. And also want to go ahead and mention Weather Call. We've started this up, and you can call 24 hours a day and get your forecast anytime, so you can always stay connected via phone, via computer, and right here at WBKO for all of your weather updates. Whitney?
And if the colder, darker, shorter days have you feeling a little down, stay tuned for advice to beat the winter blues. We'll be right back.
What is this?
Garbage.
No, these are our bills. How can you just toss out our bills?
I got people.
Play the Toss Out Your Bills instant win game at H&R Block. You could win $10,000 to pay off your bills or one of thousands of other instant cash prizes.
At H&R Block, you can walk in with your taxes and walk out with a loan check. Up to $9,999, subject to your refund amount. At H&R Block, nobody does it faster. Instant money refund anticipation loan. When you got H&R Block, you got people.
WBKO airs FCC-approved educational children's programs, which are identified on the screen by capital E/capital I, followed by the targeted age group. Each quarter, WBKO documents current information concerning children's programming. It's placed in the public file and can be inspected during regular business hours, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. through 5 p.m. at the WBKO business office. If you'd like to comment or make suggestions, please write the general manager.
Hi, I'm Ashley Judd on behalf of Trust for Life. I want to encourage my fellow Kentuckians to learn about the importance of organ and tissue donations and to remind you to sign the back of your driver's license or organ donor card and place your name on the new Kentucky Organ Donation Registry.
To learn more, visit trustforlife.org. Then click on the link donatelifeky.org to place your name on Kentucky's new organ donor registry.
So please, be an angel, be an organ and tissue donor.
When you were growing up, who's the person that made a difference in your life and made each day fun? Now you can help make a difference in the life of a child at the fun-filled 2007 Rivendell Bowl for Kids' Sake, benefiting Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Central Kentucky. Round up 4 of your friends or co-workers to form a team, or participate by sponsoring a bowler or making a donation. All proceeds benefit the local chapter of Big Brothers Big Sisters and the mentoring services they offer. For more information, call 781-1180. Make a difference. Bowl for Kids' Sake.
The holidays are now over, and in comes the gray days of winter. And during this time of year, it's common for most of us to feel a little down. But for millions of Americans, these shorter, colder days can bring on seasonal affective disorder. And here to shed some light on the matter is Dr. Grayson Grau from the Psychiatric Associates of Bowling Green. Thank you for being here.
Glad to be here.
So, seasonal affective disorder, also known as SAD or the winter blues, a lot of folks have at least heard about this, but why does this occur? Why is this something that we see happening to so many people every winter?
Well, we know that there's genetic predisposition to this disorder. There are certain people who have inherited the propensity to this disorder from their parents who've also experienced it. We also know that there are people who, as they live farther from the equator, go to the northern climes where the days are shorter, are more prone to depression. People closer to the equator, less prone.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of symptoms are we seeing here? I mean, is it just, you know, the regular symptoms of depression, weight gain, sleeplessness? What do we see?
Really, the core feature is an inability to find pleasure in things that normally would cause pleasure. Mm-hmm. For example, loss of interest in church, hobbies, reluctance to go out of the home. But then there are the symptoms that you mentioned, such as sleep disturbance, appetite disturbance, decreased energy, that also go along with this.
And you hear different things about the ways to kind of beat the winter blues or SAD. Light is a big topic, for instance, and of course you were, as you were saying, being closer to the equator, closer to the light, closer to heat. How does that play a factor into it?
Well, again, the length of day, exposure to sunlight plays a big factor. People who are fortunate enough to work out of doors, they oftentimes will get enough light exposure, but people who work indoors, such as myself in an office all day, we don't have that opportunity. And the light therapy, the theory of the light therapy is that it helps to balance that back, allowing us exposure to the light.
And there are certain lights that you can buy and actually have in your home
Yes.
that can help to alleviate some of these feelings or symptoms that you're having because of the winter blues. Is that right?
That's correct. The incandescent lamps, the fluorescent lamps that we generally have in our homes and our workplaces do not meet the need. There's special bulbs that are required.
Where do you draw the line? When is it the winter blues, something that, you know, maybe with some exercise, a little bit of light, you're going to get better, but when does it cross a line and it becomes something severe, something that folks say, I need to see somebody about this? How do you know? Well,
The question is, does it interfere with your ability to function? Ability to function in the workplace, ability to function at home. Does it have an impact on your ability to earn a living, these kinds of things?
Mm-hmm. So, in other words, if you're feeling those type of symptoms or you're having these kind of problems in your life, then in that case you need to contact probably a health professional?
That's correct.
Otherwise, would you advise someone checking out kind of the light therapy?
I think anyone who has noted a pattern of their depression occurring on a seasonal basis, light therapy is a good thing to look at.
And my last question to you, for those folks who do experience winter blues, is this something that they do see every winter, year after year, or is it something that kind of comes and goes?
Generally, it's experienced year after year. Yeah, there's a very typical pattern that they experience.
All right. And Dr. Grau, of course, is with the Psychiatric Association of Bowling Green, if you have more questions on that. And thank you so much for joining us today.
I'm very glad to be here.
And when we return, no-fuss hairstyles that lend the perfect complement to your dress for Valentine's Day. Stay tuned for these romantic ideas coming up next. And still to come on Midday Live, Culver's is making today's show your one stop for Super Bowl food favorites. Delicious ideas still to come.
You know we have great prices on leather furniture, but did you know we also have great prices on home office products? That's here at the Leather Place in Bowling Green, Kentucky, with free delivery and free financing.
The Jefferson Awards are given annually to people in our community who perform significant public service work. WBKO and the Daily News invite you to help select individuals for the 2007 Jefferson Awards. If you would like to nominate a person for a Jefferson Award, you can pick up a form at WBKO or visit our website. You can also send a self-addressed stamped envelope and we'll send you a nomination form with instructions. But don't wait, the deadline for entries is February 20th.
Expressions Music Cafe. Expect a variety of musical and dramatic influences of jazz, blues, folk, gospel, contemporary music, comedy, poetry, and storytelling in a relaxed coffee house atmosphere. Admission is just $5. Concessions will be available for purchase. Expressions will be at the Public Theater of Kentucky on the corner of East 10th and Chestnut Street on Saturday, February 17th at 7:30 p.m. Call 270-746-2988 for more information.
When you were growing up, who's the person that made a difference in your life and made each day fun? Now you can help make a difference in the life of a child at the fun-filled 2007 Rivendell Bowl for Kids' Sake, benefiting Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Central Kentucky. Round up 4 of your friends or co-workers to form a team, or participate by sponsoring a bowler or making a donation. All proceeds benefit the local chapter of Big Brothers Big Sisters and the mentoring services they offer. For more information, call 781-1180. Make a difference. Bowl for Kids' Sake.
Hi, I'm Wayne Brady, and this is the latest fad diet. Lose weight while you sleep. But when you really examine it, there's nothing there. The healthy way to lose weight is through a more active lifestyle. For a free booklet on health and fitness, contact the Will Rogers Institute at wrinstitute.org.
Create the perfect duo this Valentine's Day with a romantic no-fuss hairstyle to complement your dress. Regina Webb joins us today with more, and I think this is such a great idea. It's a perfect way to not go too far overboard, making a catastrophe, so to speak, with your style.
Yes.
So Before we look at our models, do you have any tips on the ways that you need to look at your dress, the types of things you need to be looking for to know how to create your hairstyle?
If you look at them, you'll see different styles of dress. If it has a halter top to it, that means you more than likely are wanting to show off what the back of your dress looks like and open. So you'd want to put your hair up.
Or to the side.
Or to the side, yeah, just so you can kind of show, because it's as an accent, And your hair you want, as you said, to complement your dress. So you pick out your dress and you love the dress and you want to just have something that's classic. If you like a classic look, you'll want to do a classic style. So something that matches the style of your dress, in other words.
In other words, also, if you have a dress with a lot of busy print, a lot of different, lines, you don't want to do anything that's really dressy with your hair. A simpler style might work better, as opposed to a dress with clean lines. Go ahead and add a little bit more than what you may usually do.
Right, exactly. You can kind of think about your hair, how to accent, just like you would with jewelry.
Okay.
Because your jewelry, if you have something very classic, you might want to wear pearls with it. And the same thing with your hairstyle. So you want to kind of try to match the two types together.
Well, that's an excellent point, and I'm anxious to see what our models have today. So we can go ahead and take a look at our first model today. Marissa, this is classic. And of course, all the dresses today are from Pappagallo. So if you're still looking for that perfect dress, pay attention, because we're seeing some good ones here. But tell me a little bit about looking at her dress. She came to you with this dress. What made you decide on this hairstyle?
Well, it's very Maryland looking, of course, and it's, yes, very classic. So, the dress is gorgeous itself, and so we just decided, we wanted to have her hair just complement the dress. And so we rolled it on electric rollers, something she could actually do at home. Rolled it on electric rollers, left them in for about 10 or 15 minutes, took them out, and we literally ran our fingers through it. And then chose the flower to just pull it back on one side. And I mean, she's ready to go anywhere.
That's such a perfect accent piece. And of course, minimal jewelry on her, just the earrings there. And, you're not taking anything away from that beautiful neckline and, of course, that empire dress, which is so flattering.
Yes.
That's a great look. Now, the next model that we have, of course, now the pattern on her dress is a little bit more busier, but it's very flattering to her figure. And when you're looking at this, how did you accentuate the positives on this one?
Well, she had long hair, really dark, pretty hair, and, anything you do to it's almost going to be pretty, but we wanted to just kind of dress it up a little bit. And, go digging through your closet again, and we took a piece of jewelry, actually, and her hair had already been hot rolled, and, say if you come home from work and your husband says, oh, I forgot to tell you about a party. So this is something that you could do. So
this is actually, now, did you work this demonstration here in our studio?
I did.
So we can go ahead and maybe take a look at that in just a second. But you used a bracelet. That's so clever.
Yes.
It's so clever to think of something like that. So be looking for these things that you may have kind of around the home. And here we have the demonstration. As you said, she just got home from work, her hair was down. And then walk us through this.
Okay, and all I'm doing now is just kind of using my fingers as a comb, and I'm just kind of scooping it over to one side here, and just so that you don't really have to have it real smooth. You don't have to think I've got to have it real sleek and real smooth, because kind of that look is sort of like you just rake your fingers, so it's very popular right now too. And then I took a little piece of the bang after I scooped it over to the side like that and worked it. I took a little piece of the bang and I just worked the bang around it, and then I just kept playing with it until I just secured it and got it in the right spot. And there I'm taking the piece of hair, just wrap that around it.
And that's so much, that look is very, very clean, as opposed to a ponytail holder or something like that you may have there. So that's a great look. And of course, just adding that accent piece with the bracelet. Perfect. Our next model, now this updo that you have, could be something that folks may need a little bit of help on, maybe attending the salon for something like this. But still, when you look at the back of her hair, it's just a matter of folding pieces over with bobby pins and putting it in the right place. Is that right?
Actually, I left two sides out and her bangs, and then I put it in a ponytail in the back. I puffed it up in the top with just a little bit of teasing in it, and I took from the ponytail, I just took 3 big loops and I bobby pinned those in.
And then, again, pulling her hair up like this in the back, you definitely wanted to show off the fact that it was opened in the back, that halter dress, which is just a gorgeous look
let's take a look at the back of it as her hair. You can just see the very back of it, how it shows off the back of her dress, because it's really pretty. And you want to look at the hairstyle, but you really want to look at this dress and have that hairstyle just accent the dress.
Just like the jewelry does, as we're seeing right there. All of these very great looks, very classic, very clean, and of course all of these dresses came from Pappagallo, which, if you're still looking, once again, definitely the place to go. Regina, thank you so much for stopping by today.
Thank you.
And maybe not necessarily romantic, but certainly delicious. Coming up next, the All-American Culver's Butter Burger and other fan favorites for this weekend's Super Bowl. We'll be right back.
Say cheese. Cheese.
Hey, you two. Long time no see.
How about Uncle Joe? Seems strange not seeing him here. I miss him.